Oh, hello. It's me and Dr. V. Thanks for joining us. Um, we are here to talk about our Pete Hegseth, the double tap strike, and some other things. But I want to make sure everyone understands from the beginning. We are, both of us, Dr. V and myself, are strictly speaking from opinion based upon facts as we understand facts. And especially when we're talking about what's going on in Venezuela, it's based upon what we hear, what we've read, and because we go out to a lot of different places. We go out, we watch Fox, we watch MS Now, we watch CNN, we watch Newsmax, we watch, read the Washington Post, Barron's with the Wall Street Journal, and the New York Times, and a couple other things when there's time to read other things. We understand that's where we come from. We're going to give you conclusions today on what we think happened and what we think is going to happen, but it's going to be conclusions conditioned on what we understand now. And if there are additional facts that come up later, we can change our conclusion. And the way I look at it is that's the way everything should be. You should never have that. It should never be otherwise, okay? Okay, let's start. We are going into Devo, and I want everyone to understand we do this all the time. We're in the middle of de-evolution, going backwards. You listen to the president, the way he speaks, the way everybody's talking, there seems to be no moral understanding, no really people liking anybody, at least from the president and his area, and it's just very, very tough. It's the way I love American history. I've been watching the American Revolution. I know most of that. Let me tell you, I can't believe how much I know. I just loved all that stuff when I was growing up. But you learn new things. It's just stuff they didn't really push when they were teaching you what happened in the Revolution. So you should all watch it. But people were crazy then. They're crazy. Blood everywhere, death, mouthing. You should read that stuff. I think that's where Trump comes from because he just lays it out. We try to take a different approach. Okay, no cussing here. Here we go, Joe. We're talking about now the, what is this? Oh, no. Oh, yeah, Joe, I didn't know we could do that. Okay. Ooh. I didn't know we could do that, Joe. We may do that. We could show on the stream. Okay. Joe, okay.
Wow.
That is wow. Okay, here we go. We're just old guys just trying to learn it right now. Here it is. Pete Hegseth. What has happened? Our title is, should he be indicted? And then the other part is a quote from George Will's article, his column in the Washington Post about the really way he looks at the administration. Now let's get into it, okay? Pete Hegseth. When this double tap strike started, we're going to be talking about when they hit that boat twice, and they hit the boat twice, and there were two survivors who were trying to hold on, and we hit the boat a second time. That's where we're focused, okay? When that was spoken about and talked about, Joe, the first thing that Pete Hegseth said was everything's false. That's not true. That didn't happen. Remember, that didn't happen. None of it happened. So we sit here and we go, really? None of it happened. Okay, Pete Hegseth, Defense Secretary, thanks for telling us nothing happened. So he's smart. I love you. So he comes on, and the next time, because all stories were false, then it starts coming out, and here we go. Oh, yeah, it happened. And I back the admiral who did it. So here it is now suddenly saying he did it, but he didn't do it because the admiral did it, right? And the buck stops here. This guy thinks he's Harry Truman. But what has happened is he has thrown the admiral under the bus and said, hey, he did it. Well, let's understand something, Joe. The admiral did seem to do it. Senate is talking to the admiral tomorrow. The Senate is going to be finding out what's going on. We're going to get all the stories. But when we had that little to do last week about certain senators and congressmen saying that that military people should not follow illegal orders. Okay, this guy, the admiral, it looks like may have a problem. Once again, we're talking how we understand things without having heard what the admiral has to say. But if the admiral okayed the hit on helpless people hanging on to the boat, then he is going to have to be prosecuted. We haven't got the Hegseth yet. Then he's going to have to be prosecuted, and very possibly others down the line are going to have to be prosecuted. Now, I don't want to get too deep into how far do you go. I think an admiral should know better. We're assuming all this with the facts we hear. You don't kill survivors. Think about it. We grew up on the cowboy shows. When they came in and they killed people, there were survivors. The good guys never killed the survivors, the women and children and all that. The bad guys would come in and kill all the survivors. And we go, wow, they're the bad guys. We know that. We understand that, okay? So we sit there and have to look at the same thing. What if Americans were sitting there hanging on to the boat? Would it be okay if those American soldiers, if they're American soldiers hanging on, would it be okay if the other side killed those American soldiers? They're sitting there, of course not. So how can anybody think there's anything good about this or it's even legal? Then you have Hegseth. Hegseth goes around and says, hey, it's the fog of war. Now he knew nothing. First he said, I was there. Oh yeah, I'm there. I call it. And if you watch him on all of his speeches, he's Macho Man. He's, Macho Man. He thinks he's Macho Man Randy Savage. For those of you who don't know him, he was a big-time wrestler of the WWF. And I loved him, the Macho Man. And Miss Elizabeth. And he was great, wasn't he? The Macho Man. Well, Hegseth thinks he's the Macho Man. But if you watched, it was on MS, what do they call it now? MS Now this morning. They kept showing this blast of Hegseth talking in, I think it's April of 2016, saying that we don't do this to people. The military doesn't kill like this. It's an ethos. He said it's an ethos. That's not what we do in America, and that's not what the military does. But he comes back here and he goes, kill them all. Kill them all. Basically, I'm not quoting him, but that's what somebody said he said. And let's keep that. Let me keep this here. That's unfair because Metallica's first album was called Kill 'Em All, and it was a great album. And if Pete Hegseth was taking Metallica's name in vain, then he is definitely guilty. Horrible, Pete Hegseth. You don't take Metallica's name in vain. One of the greatest all-time groups of all time. Okay. But that's what we understand is that he said, kill them all. Kill them all, right? That's what we understand. And then we hear that he's in the room watching. Now he says, I wasn't in there. I left. I'm Secretary of War. Doesn't that tell you where his head is right off the top? Not Secretary of Defense. I'm Secretary of War, and I have other things to do, so I went out. Then he says, I couldn't see anything because it was the fog of war. Now, how is there the fog of war if your tuchus isn't in there? And how is it you see anything if you're not in there? So he goes from saying nothing happened, it's all false, it's all a lie, to how now it was the admiral who did it. He did it, and I'll back him up, and he did it. And then he says, I wasn't in there, but he couldn't see it if he was in there because of the fog of war. He doesn't deny that orders were given. Now, we do not know the exact order that was given, Joe. But you're looking at this, and I'm wondering, I'm not worried about war crimes. That's not my thing. That's the international stuff. I'm looking at American law. I'm looking at American law. Jewish mother, I'm not a female. I love you. You may have a gender issue, Lucius. I mean, I appreciate what you're writing there, but you may have a gender issue. I don't. I'm a male. There's no issue here. So, okay. Uh, uh, where was I, Joe? I'm sorry, Joe. Where was I?
So we're basically talking about Pete Hegseth.
I know we're talking about, and he comes out. I'm sorry, he's the Secretary of War. That's where the action is. He's there. They keep using the word war. I'm listening to Trump afterwards. There, he just had a big press conference. He's sitting there at the desk and telling everybody how horrible Biden is and how Biden's the dumbest guy in the world and all this stuff. But he says that we're at war. We're at war. Now look, Obama never said we were at war when he hit whoever he hit. Clinton never said we were at war whenever he hit whatever he hit. In Vietnam, we had the Gulf of Tonkin Bay resolution. Nobody said it was war. We got Trump saying it's war. If it's war, you have to go to Congress and you have to go and say, hey, give me
war powers.
Right. Here we go. Vote on it. But what Trump does, which all the presidents are doing, all the presidents do this. What Trump does is he goes in there and does what he wants to do. Look, all the presidents love being commanders in chief. This is no different. This guy just takes it so much farther than anybody, ain't even close. But everybody loves being commander in chief when you're president. And so they just push and push and push when it comes to war powers. And he has just been doing it. Now he sits there and says, we're at war, we're at war, we're at war. He's got no proof of anything. He can't prove. What's he going to prove? That these speedboats can go 1,500 miles across the water to get to America? It doesn't work. If you're worried about cocaine, go after Colombia. Is that where your action is? If you're really worried about cocaine, though, you don't let out Cocaine Juan, who was the former president of Honduras, who was sentenced to 45 years for pumping drugs into America, and Trump pardoned him. And they asked Trump, why did you pardon him? He goes, something about Biden, and it was all political. Now, let's take a step back. We had a case. This guy testified, Cocaine Juan testified. Cocaine Juan was testified in front of a jury, okay? They listened to him. 12 Americans listened to him, listened to all the facts, sat through the entire case and said, look, he's guilty. But Trump comes in and says, it was all political. He didn't see it. He wasn't a part of it. He has no idea. All he knows is that he thinks politically it's good for him to let out a cocaine dealer who was sentenced to 45 years for flooding America with cocaine and other drugs, and which led to violence and everything else. That's what Donald Trump did. So when he and Pete Hegseth are talking about we're at war and we're just going to kill everybody, then you have to sit there and go, if you're at war, go for it. Now, the next step is, what's Congress doing? Is Congress standing up and doing anything? Remember, Congress is Article 1. If Congress doesn't have the backbone to do it, nobody's going to stop this guy. People can get mad, but nobody can stop him. The question is, the question is, there's not a question. He sits there and says, they're dealers, ergo, they all die, and I kill them all because I've decided I'm God, and I can kill whomever I wish to kill because I have control of life or death. Yet, he lets Ukrainians die. Yet, he lets a cocaine dealer out of jail. Do you see where they brought in like 40 or 50 Mexican criminals who were in jail? They brought them into America, snuck them in. I go right on. My only question is, how many of them is he going to let free? How many of them? When's he going to let El Chapo Guzman free? When El Chapo writes him a letter and says, you are the man, Mr. President. I've learned from you. You just the man. But that's the problem. The absolute, that's the absolute hypocrisy. And I'm trying to be cool about all this. This is opinion and we do it. But the absolute hypocrisy to sit there and say, it ain't happening. Then when it comes out and it's proved it's happening, say, it isn't my fault, it's his fault. And then come out and say, I never did it, but now I'll clean up behind them. This is all Hegseth, who's been talking war, 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 war. And he got him and the president saying today, the president, we are at war. And let's get one other thing straight, Joe, while we're at it, okay? Trump keeps saying that the election was fixed in 2020. Let's get this straight. Trump lost. He lost badly. The guy who tried to fix the election was Donald Trump. Nobody else. Donald Trump and his minions who ran around. Now, this is my opinion, but I have it buttressed by 60-some cases that they lost. I have it buttressed by a phone call taped to Georgia saying, hey, could you find all these extra votes for me? It's buttressed. How about the attack on the Capitol? He had a lot to do with that. He got everybody worked up, and he sat at the White House and didn't tell the National Guard to go out and protect the Capitol. And this is the best part about it. He said he couldn't do it. Well, he sure sent them into D.C., didn't he? 5, 6 months ago to do what he felt had to be done there, but he couldn't send them to the Capitol? Of course he could. So the lies that come out of this are incredible. And for people to fall for it, I don't think they're doing it anymore. He keeps saying affordability is a joke. It isn't a joke. I was down south this weekend with my family, went out, got a pizza, a really good pizza, a big pizza, thin, real good, Joe. Had extra cheese and 2 toppings on it. Caesar salad, we're talking about 2 little kids who both ate, and me and my wife, 4 of us. Sodas, lemonade, no dessert, tax and tip $60. No affordability issues. I'm not going to big time restaurants. I don't eat red meat. So I don't have to eat that stuff that goes for $150 a shot. I say right on. I know certain people who really love meat. I know this guy who you all may be looking at now who loves meat, but he would never spend that kind of money for a cut. I mean, he's too smart for that. But you sit there and he got stunned. Joe, did you get stunned by what costs were at the store and everything when you went a week or 2 ago? And
over $100 for a turkey.
$100 for it. And how big was that turkey? Wasn't that gigantic, right?
No, I don't know, 20 pounds.
I don't know. All I can tell you is
$5 a pound for a turkey.
Well, it wasn't cheap because you got everything else that comes in there. And you have to it's just outrageous. I just know because I buy food all the time for the house and I run around because I like to eat stuff. So I go around, I know these prices. You just see them going up. And once again, it's 3%, 3%, 3%. But we're getting off the issue, Joe. We're getting to the point now where we have to ask, would Pete Hegseth or should Pete Hegseth be indicted for murder under American law? That's really the key. I don't want to hear about international law. I don't need these international tribunals telling us here in America what's going on. Okay? In America, it looked to me, I haven't seen it on tape, but keep this in mind. The president said today, giving all these facts, the president said today that he has no problem letting the film come out, the video come out of what happened. But then you hear Senator Reid say, we have been asking for this for months and they have refused to give it to us. So are they playing with the video? It could be done, right? I mean, erase this, change that, right? Or are they just hiding it? Now, you know and I know that if this would exonerate Hegseth and this would exonerate Trump, it would have been out there right away, just like the Epstein files. It would be out there right away. But what we have is a president who is afraid to let the truth come out. So all he does is say, while everybody is asking about this, affordability isn't right. There's no affordability problems. Biden had the highest inflation of all time, which he didn't. It was back during the Depression. Inflation was around that time. It exploded, okay? The bottom line is that right now it's 3%, just like it was when Biden left office. 3%, and he's putting 3% and something else we talked about, because we're talking about Donald Trump's credibility on Venezuela by talking about this. How long have I been saying to you unemployment is going to be going up and job losses are going to be going up big time? How long, right? It happened. They thought they got lucky in September. They who knows if they were real numbers coming out of the government. Today, it comes out in November from the private, what was it, the ADP, said when everybody's expecting 40,000 new jobs, they lost like 35,000 jobs. Okay, private. Now, supposedly we're going to get government figures, and I'm sure they'll be real, Joe. Yeah. I'm sure they'll be real. But we're going to be getting government figures, I think, for October or whatever, and who knows what they're going to show from the Ministry of Information when it comes down. But what it's showing is that under Donald Trump, inflation is going up. Unemployment is going up. And wait till the beginning of the year when people find out they can't afford their health insurance, because that's when the first payments are made. And wait until the beginning of the year when they say, because they're already fighting with 19 states saying we're going to cut off a lot of the money, your SNAP money, because you refuse to turn over private information about everybody who gets SNAP, all the information you got. We want the government to have all that information. We grew up going about Big Brother. Big Brother gets all that information. Now, the government under Trump, he's been asking for all the information for the elections in Maryland for everybody who has registered. I don't want him getting my information. I'm an American. Who is Trump and his people to try to take our information from the state government who runs the election? I'm sorry, period. So you got liars with this kind of stuff going on. And he sits there on top of it, says he had nothing to do with January 6th. Of course, he was the man who did it. But he sits there and he goes, nothing happened. It happened. People died. I really didn't want it to happen, Trump said. I really didn't want it to happen. I didn't see him stop it when he was there. And the whole thing went forward, okay? The buck doesn't stop here. And this is going to make it even better. You know how they're looking into Senator Kelly? Remember that video that went out with Senator Kelly and the other congressmen? And they said, hey, under the law, make sure you don't follow an illegal order. And Trump said, sedition, they should be killed. They should be thrown out of the country or whatever, but killed. And then said, no, I really didn't mean it. Of course he meant it. He said the old days they did it that way. They should be killed. And then we find out that Hegseth was starting an investigation into Kelly, who is formerly a member of the armed forces, who also fought for us, was an astronaut. His wife was shot as a congressman. I mean, just horrible. A great leader, everything he's had to go through, they're going to look into. How can they look into him now, Joe? How can they say to any of those guys, hey, what illegal orders? We just had the illegal order that proves everything. And it's got to start showing to people that this is what's going on out there. We are being lied to and blown away. So my conditional conclusion, okay, conditional on any further facts coming out, I think it's a bit obvious, is that Hegseth should be indicted for murder and brought in front of a jury, taken to the grand jury, have him indicted for murder, and then brought in. Now, there may be some protections he has as Secretary of Defense, as long as he's Secretary of Defense. But I'm telling you, what's going to end up happening is if the Democrats win in 2028, the presidency, you can believe that the next attorney general will go after Hegseth and any of these others who have been doing illegal things. and it's just accelerating, okay? Trump took it, put the fire under it. It's flying everywhere. You're going to see it. I'm telling you now, just like I told you, we were going to have stagflation in January. So we're going to have stagflation by June or July. Joe has said, okay, he's going with me. You could just go to Just American Citizen. It's there on YouTube. You can see me and Dr. V talking about this all the way down. That's happened. And now what's going to happen is, I told him we're going to have a cut in interest rates. A month ago, we said it that day when the Fed chairman was talking. Everybody said, maybe not, maybe not. And my buddy, Dr. V, said, I think you're wrong. They're going to not cut. And then we kind of made a little wager on it. And he writes me and says, it's looking bad. It's looking bad.
It was.
And now it ain't looking bad. It
is not. No.
It's looking real good. Hopefully, I mean, it hasn't happened yet. But hopefully we're going to be real happy at the next meeting, okay?
Oh, we're coming back a little bit in that account. I made a little, without talking to you, I made a little wager on the Tennessee. Came in as predicted.
We'll be back on that. But
we're bouncing back.
We're bouncing back. But when it comes to the politics, we've been right on with it. Heavy stagflation you're going to be seeing. It doesn't matter when he puts his new guy in charge of the Fed Reserve, and he said they start really pushing down interest rates because of the unemployment issues, really exacerbated by Trump throwing everybody out. Then that stagflation is going to be even worse because inflation is just going to keep going up. They're going to be pumping out. It'll be like Nixon days. They'll just be pumping it out, trying to keep interest rates down, while at the same time, the prices will be going up. It's just, I'm telling you, it's happening. So here we are. That brings me back to Pete Hegseth. Forget politically, I think he's going to get handled in 2028 or whenever. Unless Trump pardons him before then. But why would he pardon him? He did the right thing, right, Joe? He shouldn't pardon him because he did the right thing. So, like a lot of these other guys he pardoned. So we're going to sit there and watch this, and I think now, based on the facts we have, Pete Hegseth should be indicted by a grand jury and brought up for trial for murder here in America, wherever the jurisdiction is, and whoever can bring the action. Now that's where I am.
I have a little different take.
Go ahead, take the different.
Clearly, Pete Hegseth should be held accountable for what he did. And again, we're not sure exactly what he did, but let's be real here. Pete Hegseth is just
Jai Hind.
Let's be real. Pete is just following the will of the commander-in-chief, Trump. He's just working his rear end off to try and please his boss. This comes down directly from Trump. And Trump has this attitude, and I don't know, again, I haven't examined him psychologically, but he has this attitude. I'm not going to, but
never pay the bill. He would never pay the bill.
I'm just saying it's pretty obvious to everybody that here's a guy who got out of serving in the armed service during the time of Vietnam, and I don't blame him for that. But
not the way he did it.
But the way he did it was he used his privilege to get out of serving. Okay, and I think on some level he feels weak about that, and so he's sort of compensating. We would even maybe call it overcompensating by showing what a hard ass he is. We don't take any prisoners. We don't do this. I mean, this is cowboy stuff. This is how you sound when you're 10 years old. This isn't a mature person. This isn't somebody who's really served in the armed services or, God forbid, seen actual war. This is somebody who's playing toy soldiers. And that's the attitude that he expects from the people who work for him. And if you don't have that attitude, he fires you.
Okay.
And so he's the one who's accountable here. Now, we could say that all the people who go along with him also bear some of the responsibility. So let's look at who are the people who are bearing some of the responsibility. Who are the people going along? So you have certainly Pete Hegseth, who's number one.
The admiral.
The admiral, number two. The person who fired the weapon, number three. But what about all the congressmen who are letting him get away with doing all this stuff?
No, the congressman wrong. The congressmen aren't letting him get away. He's acting as commander in chief, and he can go into court, which he's doing right now, and saying, "I'm just doing my."
I'm just saying. There's a pattern. There's a pattern besides this particular incident,
but has nothing to do with.
He's not. It's a direct effect of never being held accountable for all the things that he's done. And again, we can go down the list. And last Sunday, you did a really nice job of going down the list of all the things where he's lied about, where he's clearly showing a pattern that if you kiss his rear end and say, "Oh, I was unfairly charged because of the Biden administration, and you're great, and you should you won the presidency, you should win the Nobel Prize," he gives you a pardon. And if you say, "No, I don't think so," then he goes after you. And he's showing clear disrespect for the law. And people who are not holding him accountable for that also bear some of the responsibility for what we're getting. And I think it's time that we wake up and start holding this guy accountable. And how do we do that? By speaking the truth, by pointing out the hypocrisy that he has, by not buying his crypto coin. Certainly next November, we're going to have a wonderful opportunity to show that we're going to hold him accountable by electing people who are going to hold him accountable and getting rid of the congressmen who are letting things slide. And I think that's what's actually going to happen. And I think the special election suggests that the Democrats have about a plus 13 advantage compared to the election in 2024. And if you project that out, I think the Democrats have an excellent chance of taking over at least the House of Representatives.
You didn't feel this way. You see, that's why I love you. You were moaning about the Democrats being under. There was no leader. You were doing that months ago. And I kept saying to you, Joe, it just moves. Didn't I say that to you? And things change. And the way you get things to change is by opening our mouths, which is something we've been doing. There have been others that are doing it too. Opening our mouths and doing what we can do. And that's what we're doing. So, yeah, but look, Congress, I said it, they should act. They are Article 1, and they should, but it's not their fault. Bottom line is simple, okay? The law is clear. That's what those guys on the video said. You don't do an order like this. And yeah, Trump should pay for it, but he's the president. And the supine court has made it clear that he is immune to anything. So you can't do it. I mean, pretty much anything. So there's nothing you can do to Trump. All you can do is call him out and go after the people under him who run with what he says and tries to put into effect what he says. That's all you can do. And that this election in Tennessee, the Democrats didn't do that well. What a joke. It was still like 9 behind. Come on. Doing some math doesn't mean anything. But we'll get to the real. I think the Democrats have a real shot. But that Tennessee was nothing. Bottom line is that, yeah, but you can't hold him. You can't do anything to this guy. He's immune. So that's the fact. So bottom line is you got to go after the Hegseths and those who say, yes, sir, and they don't care what the law is. And here was Hegseth jumping Senator Kelly saying, what are you talking about? You got Trump. I mean, you hear him call the Somalis trash and garbage, and I want them out of my country. Hey, it's all of our country, Trump. But he can talk like trash. He can act like trash. He can be trash. He can have no moral core. What was the name of this title, Joe? About George Will? What was the name of it with George Will?
Moral what? Pit or whatever?
Something like he has no moral core. How horrible it is here. And that's what he is. And there's nothing we can do. So what we do is Congress has to stand up and make Trump do things he doesn't want to do. And they got to stand up and keep yelling about the about ACA. They got to stand up and keep yelling about food and SNAP and and it's not just them, it's the 15 or 18 states. And I'm proud our state's one of them, standing up to Trump saying, we ain't giving you that information. We're just not. Private information or people's private information. That's what's going on. The states have to stand up, the people have to stand up, and the House and Senate has to stand up. But there's nothing we can do against Trump per se. Therefore, the question comes back to, do we indict Pete Hegseth for murder in America? Yes. For ordering it and everything. He is the problem at that point. He is the problem. Okay? Because if that happened to him, who else was going to do it? Wait till this guy...
I mean, we could make the same argument that if you indict him, nothing's going to happen because...
No, you do not now. I said when it happens.
Oh, after the fact.
In 2028 or something.
Well, can't we indict Trump in 2028 if he's still around?
I'm telling you, I think it's going to
go after Trump too.
You can't... What?
In 2028, when he's not president,
right?
Can he be indicted then?
Who, Trump?
Yeah.
No. The Supreme Court said he couldn't. Ball game over. He can't be indicted for anything he did as president. So, and remember, theoretically, we should be able to indict Hegseth now. It's just nobody's going to indict the man. And we don't have the facts. All the facts. Remember, we're calling this a conditional conclusion based upon more facts coming in, okay? We have not seen the video, so we don't know it all yet. We have not heard what the admirals has to say. We don't know. We're just going on what has come out so far. But based on what we've heard so far, when you have a guy saying, I'm the Secretary of War, and I'm the macho man, and we're macho, and we're taking everybody down, and we're doing this, that guy should be taken down with the rest of them. That's no Secretary of Defense. That's a sick guy who does the worst pull-ups I've ever seen in my life for a guy that age, who acts like he's tough and has a lot of ink on him, like he's a tough guy, okay? Horrible. This is just not right. Where is the proof on any of this stuff? All I care about are those two people who were there. If he had him killed, he should taste it. The admiral should taste it. And I want to now see them go after Senator Kelly. See what happens when they try to do that and say, well, I know the illegal one. The buck stops here. I've had it. Let me hit something else, Joe. I want to just take a break for 1 second and throw something at her because this is all part of where it is. The chaos, the incredibleness of just chaos, yelling. Never mind the bullets. Here's the Sex Pistols. You want to talk chaos? Anarchy in the UK. It's all about anarchy. What a great song. God Save the Queen. What a great song. Pretty Vacant. They were. It was great. You had a bass player who couldn't play bass, but these guys just came at you. It was loud. This album took punk over, made punk in the late 70s. So when you're feeling crazy and you're feeling chaos, and you really want to feel it, God Save the Queen. A fascist regime. I loved this album. I couldn't take it off the turntable. I couldn't do it. So I'm all worked up. I had to jump into the album of the week early, Joe. I had to do it because never mind the Bullocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. Get this. Turn it on. It's like 30 minutes between the two sides. Your ears are going to be blowing and you're going to be out ready to take on Bruce Lee when it's over. I mean, craziness. Joe.
We need sanity, not craziness.
There is no sanity. That's
maybe a little Moody Blues, a little Pink Floyd. Bring some sanity back.
You're the same one. We're in the middle of the insanity right now. Think about the BS going on TV. Watch these guys. I watch them. They lie and they lie and they lie. And you call them out. And to me, it's still the bottom line of if the bad guys on TV or in the movies are the ones that kill the survivors. The good guys are the ones that don't. And if we have our military who are survivors, you want them all taken out? Come on. You
Well,
take a prisoner.
you are right about one thing. We need to shine a light on what the facts are.
We got to.
And people need to be aware what the facts are, and then people can make their own decisions. That's all. But hopefully one of these days, the people who do things that are morally wrong, legally wrong, are held to account. And I'm gonna, for myself, I'm personally going to hold account to the people who knew what was going on and chose not to speak up. I think you need to be held to account for that as well.
I agree. Let me jump into the mosh pit. Ted, you may be right about Venezuela and the oil. He would love to take that oil. He would do it in a second if he could. Okay, kind of like Saul Goodman. Saul Goodman's okay. Mexico better call Saul. Good line. I like that one. Scam. The scam is what's going on. This Venezuela thing's a total scam. Where are we? Republican. She told me not. I like you. She told me not. Everybody knows the CIA. I don't support the fake drug war. Of course, the CIA hasn't run it. They've kind of, they work both sides. You never know. They all say they're acting on behalf of the country. Bottom line is the drug war is no war. We're losing. If it's a war, we've lost it for like the last 50 years. You're going to lose it as long as people want to. This no longer smoke it, but you're going to lose it as long as people want to inhale it or shoot it up or whatever. It's horrible. Okay, I said Jay Hyde. I think I mispronounced it. I apologize. Joe threw in a hi there. Siavash, hello. Come from Iran. Hi, Iran. I hope that the guy doesn't get you in trouble. I hope the supreme leader doesn't get you in trouble for talking to us. Facts, Dr. V. Great advice. He always gives great advice. I'll tell you, this is perfect. You know what's happened, Joe? We've been watching this thing, and I'm watching I know where the algorithm is going with this. It's really fun. We got out, and then it just started playing around because we were talking too honestly and putting it out, which is okay. I like to get it out there and like people to know what's going on. I just think that if people are watching this Venezuela thing, the issue isn't the boats. The issue isn't the blowing up the boats. The issue is that they took two people. It appears they broke the law by doing that, and the administration can't stand up. And the only answer is war, war, war. And now the Article 1 part of the government, which is Congress, having heard that we are at war, must now stand up and make a demand for a war, some type of war resolution to move forward. Because if the president says we're at war, then we need a war resolution. We haven't did it. Barack Obama didn't say we were at war when we hit people. Didn't say Mark, we were at war. Go ahead.
Let's speculate a second. Number one, we know this trumped up excuse of going after the guys in the boats has nothing to do with stopping the influx of cocaine into the country. Okay, so speculate. Why is he going after those Venezuelans, and why is he threatening to do some sort of land invasion? Or
because they're easy to hit. Look, if you look at just an American citizen, I said years and years ago, I talked about Maduro. He's a thug. He's a killer. He's horrible. He always fixed the elections. I got nothing good to say about him. All those who would win the elections, I think it was Juan Guaido had to leave. This woman won, Maria Conchito. I'm sorry if I'm misstating your name. She won, or her husband won. All these people are winning. He forces them out. The Cubans backed him, and all these people backed him. He's in big trouble. He's got no money. No, his oil fields are wiped. They have nobody in there fixing them up, so they really can't get much oil out of there. They owe money to the world. Nobody likes Maduro. Nobody's going to stand up for Maduro. Brazil isn't. Argentina isn't. He's easy to take out.
So this is like going after Palestine, something like that.
We're not going after Palestine.
Supporting Israel against Palestine. The Palestinians are completely helpless.
This guy thinks it's the Monroe Doctrine. For those who don't know the Monroe Doctrine, let's take a step back. Please feel free to go to Just American Citizen. I've talked about this for years. He believes in the states having powers in different areas of the world. So China will have their power in the Asian part of the world. Russia would have power in the European part of the world, the chunk of wherever else Russia is. We have power in North America, South America, Canada, and all that. And the rule was under the Monroe Doctrine that nobody can come over and do anything. That was one of the reasons that JFK used when the Cuban Missile Crisis happened. Okay, it's also because the missiles were right there right off of America. Now Cuba is right there. The way I see it now that you're asking me about it is it's so easy to take. I mean, I don't think you can take it over, but you can sure lay waste to that government, and you can lay waste to a lot of people there.
So he's looking for a regime change.
You're not going to
regime change or just American influence in Venezuela.
I don't know how you're going to get regime change. You want to start talking Iraq? You want to start talking Vietnam?
Well, what's he trying to accomplish?
I think he wants to look like a tough guy. I think he wants to be the man, okay? Like he always is. And he wants to show his MAGA base that he can take on the drug people.
But clearly no one, including the MAGA base, is going to give him any credit for attacking the weak kid on the block and beating up the weak kid.
Right? Some will. He thinks they'll come along with him. You're asking me what I think. I could be wrong. I'm just telling you what I think. He thinks this is how he keeps the MAGA base with him. He acts tough. He's got Vance. Vance is, he's got Vance talking. He's got all these guys. They're after him. Marco Rubio hates Venezuela.
Yeah, see, I mean, is this part of like in South Florida? I believe that there's a lot of Cubans and Venezuelans who are looking for regime change, and this would be some way of appeasing that part of the base.
Maybe, yeah. But the Cubans have been here for those who came over have been here for a couple generations. I don't know if this second generation or third generation cares as much as that generation that came over there. First, you had Batista. Wasn't it Batista? Who was it? Yeah, Batista. I think it was when Castro overthrew Batista. That was like still black and white. So that was the films. So that was
the Bay of Pigs and all that in 61.
That was the 50s. No, Bay of Pigs was JFK. That was like 1958, 57. So he overthrew Batista and all the guys, all America lost all their money and stuff. Remember, Ricky Ricardo came from Cuba, okay? And then America and Cuba were together, but Batista was a dictator. He got overthrown. Castro came and became the next dictator, though everybody loved him, okay? And that's when the Bay of Pigs happened with JFK and Khrushchev and Castro. So we have a history with that. And everybody has left Cuba alone. But Cuba has tried to help Maduro by sending over medicine and taking their oil and going back and forth. But as the oil rigs die, as Maduro's unable to be able to deliver, nobody likes him, so he's easy to take out. So I think what they're looking to do is hit that, and then I think they're going to go after Cuba. Because Marco Rubio hates Cuba. And then Trump is being the tough guy. He can say, see, with a fist, I bring peace. With a fist, I end the war on drugs. Biden was so dumb. He didn't know how to stop the war. I know how to stop the war. I mean, I know how to stop the drugs. I go war on drugs.
It just doesn't sound very much like America first.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Isn't that why he got elected? Isn't that what his base wants?
That's why everybody was so worried. That's why when I said to you, Joe, and I said to the others who were talking with us, don't worry, things are going to change. You just got to keep yelling about it. It's not just this that's going to hurt them. What's also is going to hurt them is going to be the ACA, the Obamacare, the health insurance when that starts going out, and they're just going, nobody's making a deal. He said he thinks, we heard, that he wants it to go for a year. I don't see him doing that so fast. What are they going to do with SNAP with half the country when people can't eat? They're going to starve Americans, make them go hungry. People are going to see this on TV. They're going to know what this guy is. So it's going to just keep breaking up their support as it goes. I see MAGA breaking up. I think they got a real problem next year. Everybody talk Democrats. They can't get along. They got the socialists. They got this. You got me on video here. I'm telling you. The Republicans are in big trouble. MAGA's going to be in big trouble because they can't keep them together. Too many of them are now starting to come out and try to be reasonable. That's what's going on because they got to be reelected.
That's encouraging.
I want to be elected.
Yeah. So if the American people hold, maybe it's the American people that are going to eventually hold the politicians accountable.
2026, it's going to happen. And the independents are going to come out. And there are some good Republicans. I'm not taking a side. I'm just telling you, I think this regime is going to be pushed out because, I'm only talking politically, because I think MAGA is going to start fighting with each other. They're going to start splitting. Trump says, hold, hold, hold. It isn't going to be able to hold because the independents who came over, those who came over and thought they were going to get better jobs, those who came over and thought that getting rid of the immigrants, the quote-unquote illegal immigrants were going to give them jobs. Meanwhile, jobs are going down. Those who thought they were going to make more money, those who thought they were going to be able to afford food, those who thought things were going to be better, it isn't better. And that's what's going to hurt them. All those independents, the Democrats are going to come out 99% against them. And then it's going to be a chunk of independents. And then it's going to be a matter of what MAGA and what Republicans do. And I don't see them coming out so fast. Not when you got Marjorie Taylor Greene and these others saying, I don't agree. You got Rand Paul jumping up and down. Mm-hmm. And I don't
State senator in Indiana.
Yeah, I don't always agree with Rand Paul, but he's jumping up and down. He makes a point. This is wrong. This is illegal, and we're being lied to. And people can only see it. They can't miss it. After a while, you hear him say, no affordability, no this, it's all a lie. People know it isn't a lie, Joe. They know it because they see it, they taste it, they smell it, and they know what's going on, and it's going to crash the MAGAs in the next election. That's what I think. Unless something vicious happens, we get attacked in America or something happens and America has to come together. I hope that never, God forbid that ever happens. But that's, I don't see anything that, where the aliens come down. I don't see anything that bad happening that's going to keep the MAGAs together. Okay? I don't see it.
Yeah, well.
And please like us and subscribe. And please, I appreciate somebody saying, hey, hype, I'm right on with it. What's the other thing they do? Oh, hype us. Please hype us. We're not afraid. Go back to Just an American Citizen. You'll see me and Dr. V all over it for like a year and a half now. And we have been right on top of it. We've been talking straight, whether anti-Democrat, anti-Republican, because we are pro-American. We love America. We love people right, left, middle, east, west, green, red, north, south, black, white, yellow. I don't care. Purple. I love purple. But the Ravens are stinking it this year. But we're playing the Steelers.
In first place.
And we got to win. We got to win. So, oh my God, I love the Ravens. We got to win, but it just looks so bad this year. So we love America. There's an American flag on Just American Citizen. It's been there for 11 years. So it doesn't matter to us as long as it helps America. We're talking this way. And I think MAGA is going to taste it. And I think Hegseth's going to taste it eventually. And I really think this is how you're going to hurt Trump. He's going to see he ain't the man in 2026. But we got to start standing up now as we keep doing it, Joe. After January 1st, ACA insurance subscription policies are going to be going out and prices are going to be up. We're going to be talking about that, okay? Then you better believe America's awesome. The battle, you better believe it. So you got this going. That's going to happen. Food's going to happen. And this Venezuela thing ain't going to end. The Middle East is falling apart. His so-called peace that he wants his peace trophy for, he got some hostages out. Thank you. It's the whole thing's falling apart. Thank you. What peace trophy does he deserve? Nothing. In Ukraine, he's letting the remember he was tough with Putin. And it wouldn't have started if I was here. Who are you kidding? Putin did what Putin wanted to do. And he's doing it now. And Trump's saying it's okay. Kill more. Oh, I'm mad at it. I'm mad. I'll do it in 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Like we always heard with this insurance. Remember? In 2016, 2017, 18, 19. 2 weeks, I'll give you my new medical insurance. 2 weeks, a new plan. Man, we've been going a lot, like thousands of 2 weeks by now. Doesn't happen. He did 2 weeks in Ukraine, and more Ukrainians die. And as Putin goes after Poland, and Putin goes after Ukraine, goes after Ukraine, and Putin goes after all the other NATO states, Trump sits there because all he cares about is taking out Maduro. That ain't America first. America first is protecting America, not attacking others. And that's what he's doing. He's killing and attacking for no reason that he can give, no proof that he can give, except the fog of war. But you're right, Joe. The Article 1 Congress has to come up and stand up and say, this is it. We want it to stop. They have to do it. If they don't do it, they haven't done it for years. They haven't done it since after Vietnam. They put stuff in the War Powers Act, right?
Yeah.
90 days, you do something. We're over 90 days, I think. Congress.
It's all about affordability and accountability, holding people accountable for what they're doing. And the theme today, I guess, is Hegseth. And you're right. He needs to be held accountable for whatever role he had in killing innocent people.
And so does the Admiral.
And the Admiral and everyone else who's involved. I think it doesn't stop with Pete Hegseth, but you're right. We might not be able to indict Trump, but we can still hold him accountable in whatever way we can by pointing out the connection that he has in what he said, what he's done, and how it's filtered down to the kind of country that we don't want to become. That historically we haven't been.
But we're becoming a moral pit, that administration. Isn't that what George Will called it?
A moral pit, yeah.
Wow. I've never seen
not the good mosh pit that we have here. It's
no, I like our mosh pit.
It's
a moral pit, this administration. I've never heard George Will. I don't hear most of those guys write like that. Wow. But I agree. Because there's no morality. You've been calling for morality. I've been laughing at you. I've been laughing at you for months, saying it's all emotion. Forget morals. It's all emotion. That's all anybody you kept saying, it's got to be love. It's got to be morals. It's got to be this. You're right, Joe. It's just a pit. There is no morality up top.
And I still believe
Go ahead.
Fundamentally, American citizens are not this immoral mess that we have going on right now.
They're not.
Americans are good. And that includes people in the MAGA movement. That includes people.
No, just say Americans, Joe. Don't.
It's exactly. We are Americans. Now, they're all, who's the bad guy here? Who's the villain? I think it's pretty easy to point fingers at the current administration, but I think there's another issue that maybe we can get into this subsequently is I still think that there's a group of people who have coalesced so much money and power that that's not healthy for the country either.
How long have we talked about that? But that'll be a separate one.
That's a separate issue, but
go back to Just American Citizen. Look through some of those. Joe raises a great point. Look through some of our titles. You'll see where we have been talking about that. That's what I'm saying, Joe. After the turn of the year, I think that's where we start going into the economy again, big time, inflation, the insurance and all that. But that's what he's talking about is all the wealth that's out there, and they're screwing everybody. They're screwing everybody. All the money. These guys put hundreds of millions into Trump, into his businesses, into the East Wing and the left wing and the right wing and the what wing. I don't know in the White House. I don't know what's going on, but they are living big and they get their big, beautiful bill and they get their tax deductions. But the people who are going to be in line looking for food, people in line trying to have a job, people just trying to live, people trying to have health care, they don't matter to this president and they don't matter to this administration. And that's another part of the moral pit that we're dealing with, Joe. And yes, we'll be dealing with it as we go forward. It's hail, hail the big money guys. Hail, hail the new Rockefellers. Hail, hail the new Fords. Hail, hail, the new GM. What's good for GM is good for America. Hail, hail. That's where we're going. Back to that. Hail, hail, J.P. Morgan. Hail, hail, all of them.
Yeah. And I'm not against people. I'm not against capitalism. I'm not against people earning a profit. I'm not against people enjoying themselves and doing fun things. It's just, it can't be at the expense of fellow Americans. That's all I'm saying.
I'm pro-capitalist, Joe, by the way. I like the Broncos. Hypernova, the Broncos are cool.
Oh, Bo Nix has really saved my fantasy team.
I know, he told me. I wrote you. I said he got you some points. You didn't say anything.
Yeah, thank God for the Broncos.
Yeah, Joe was looking for Bo Nix.
RJ, Harvey, all the guys.
Oh,
Bronco defense.
You see him smiling? He is so happy he can't see straight.
The Ravens, they have disappointed. The Eagles have disappointed. Not good.
Well, we'll know more Sunday. So we love Denver. We love the Vikings. They're getting handled. But as long as you love the Eagles and the Ravens, we're happy.
I love Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, Jackson.
That's a great city.
I like Jacksonville. It's beautiful down there. It used to be this little town. I got a friend down there. I used to go down there.
A lot of Navy people down there.
Oh, it's just nice people. It's a lot easier, cheaper to live there than other places in Florida, I understand.
Very nice people in Jacksonville.
Right on. So they're nice people everywhere, Joe. They're
You're right.
So that's the bottom line. We will be talking about it, but there is that massive divide between wealth and regular people here. And the wealth run everything. And we're talking the wealthy. The Bears, the bars.
I think the Jags have a fair shot.
I'm sorry, we're coming in. The bars, even the Ravens. I don't have the Ravens beat.
Oh, God.
The bars, shake your head. The bars are rocking, though.
They are rocking. They beat my Eagles on Friday.
Let me tell you, the Jags aren't that bad. You never know with the Jags. You got a quarterback I'm never too sure about, but we'll see. We'll see on that. But it'll be fun. That's all part of America. You see, it doesn't matter if it's left or right. You like football. I always said I can disagree with everybody's politics and walk into a bar in Baltimore on a Sunday and have my Ravens jacket on, and we're all loving everybody. Right on. We will, for lunch, we'll see. We will be coming back. We'd love to see you all. So
did you tell everybody what the schedule is?
I was about to. Sunday, I'm not going to be here. I'm not sure if Dr. V is going to do it on his own. He's going to tell me so I can post if he's going to do it on his own, okay?
Only if there's an outpouring of need.
You let me know, though, ahead of time so I can post it, okay? So people know you're coming on. Secondly, I will come on Monday. I'm out all weekend. I can't do anything about this, unfortunately. And then, of course, got the Ravens game. So I will be on Monday, and I will post on when that is, too, unless some emergency comes up. It's going to be tough for the next 4 days. But I will be doing that. So that's where we are. So Sunday, possibly Dr. V on his own. Sunday, not me. It will be Dr. V and not me. And then on Monday, it'll be me and not Dr. V. So unless he wants to sneak on, he's going to check and see if he can fit us in on Monday and doesn't want to do it.
I won't be here the 14th.
Yeah, but that's too far off.
Far off. Don't worry about it.
That's way too far off, Dr. V. We're not even focused on that.
Take the grandkids to see Santa Claus.
Right on. Enjoy it and do it, but nobody's scheduling that right now. Right on. Go MAGA. We love Americans. If you're MAGA, you're an American, right on.
Go America, yeah.
I'm liking. Please like and subscribe. Thank you very much, Jeremy. I appreciate it. We'd like a hype, whatever that means. I hear hypes are good. And send us out to people. We're here. Somebody, either Joe will be here alone Sunday, or I will definitely be here Monday. You saw what I was telling you. Never mind the Bullocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. You want to get crazy. You want to lose it. You want to just go, wow. Put this on. 35 minutes. Your mind will be going. You'll be saying, you'll feel like you came out of Mad Magazine. You don't know what's going on, but it's such a great album. It's such a great album, Joe. Joe, okay?
No.
You didn't enjoy punk.
I did not enjoy punk. No.
Why not?
Uh,
Punk was, you didn't like the Clash?
Clash was
That was like
okay. Clash was okay. Now there's some good punk.
Pretenders. I mean, it was like punk, new wave. I mean, Iggy Pop. Joe. I'm worried about you, Joe. Let me tell you, when Joe left hearing music from me, I don't know where he went. Where did you go? Like Perry Como then? Where did you go when you left school?
But in the 1980s?
80s, I'm talking, what do you mean? We left school well into the 70s. We're a little older than that, Joe.
No.
We're a little older than that, Joe. Okay?
You are, not me.
Yeah, you are. I got my 72nd coming up in a couple weeks. So it could be rolling. Yeah. The Ramones, of course. But he doesn't like the Ramones. Rock and roll in high school. How about I Want to Be Sedated? We love the Ramones. And we love Iggy. We love punk. This man doesn't understand. I'll tell you why. When he left school, he could still kind of be in the music and stuff and get straight A's and not worry. But then he went to graduate school and he decided he had to get serious. And he decided that he just had to have all this testosterone, so all the hair went out of his head.
Yeah.
And he decided he had to be the man, and he left music behind. And he became a Perry Como fan. Remember Perry Como? And I don't know who else. Bing Crosby. He went backwards. Devo, as we say, as America goes, Devo. That was Joe. Went Devo. He devolved.
I went into the boy bands.
He went into the boy. Oh my God! He went to the boy bands. Are we in trouble?
Backstreet Boys.
You're enjoying the Ramones. I love you. Have you ever listened to Iggy? Put on Iggy Pop. Listen to him when he was the Stooges, and then afterwards put on the Blah 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 album. Still my favorite, though. I don't think it's Iggy's. Excellent. But when he was at the Stooges, I Want to Be Your Dog. Oh. He was just so good, Iggy. Just rock. It's punk. It's rock. The Pretenders. Come on, Joe. It doesn't matter. We love you. If you're square, we ain't there. If Joe's on Sunday, look for the Postal Just American Citizen. I will be here Monday. I will tell you when and where it's going. Joe may sneak in. And that's the way it is.
Period.
And thank you all for joining us.